You've probably heard that walking 10,000 steps a day is the gold standard for healthy aging. But what if there's something more important that most people overlook entirely? Welcome to Better Health Faster. I'm here to share what the science actually says about living longer and living well. Today, we're talking about strength. Not the kind that requires a gym membership or heavy barbells, the kind you use every single day getting out of chairs, carrying groceries, opening jars. Here's something that might surprise you. A major study published in February found that grip strength, yes, just how firmly you can squeeze, predicts how long you'll live. And it does so independently of whether you walk, run, or meet your weekly exercise goals. That's worth paying attention to. This episode breaks down exactly what researchers discovered, why muscle strength matters so much for longevity, and how you can build it at any age starting today. For decades, public health messaging has emphasized cardio. Get your heart rate up, hit your step count, walk 30 minutes a day, and that advice isn't wrong. Cardiovascular exercise genuinely helps your heart, lungs, and metabolic health. But here's where the conversation has been incomplete. Medical researchers now understand that muscle isn't just tissue for movement. It functions as an endocrine organ, actively participating in metabolic health and inflammation regulation. Your muscles release signaling molecules called myokines when they contract. These molecules communicate with your brain, liver, fat tissue, and immune system. When we lose muscle, a process called sarcopenia, we're not just getting weaker, we're losing an organ that helps regulate our entire body. This matters especially as we age. Sarcopenia is a major predictor of disability, falls, and loss of independence. Yet strength training remains dramatically underemphasized. A study published in JAMA Network Open in February examined over 5,000 women aged 63 to 99. The average age was nearly 79. The research team, led by Michael LaMonte at the University at Buffalo, wanted to understand which physical measures best predicted who would still be alive 8 years later. This wasn't a homogeneous population either. The study included diverse representation, roughly 34% Black women, 17% Hispanic, and 50% white participants. Researchers measured grip strength using a handheld dynamometer, essentially squeezing a device that records how much force you can generate with your hand. They also timed chair stands, how quickly participants could rise from a seated position 5 times without using their arms for assistance. The findings were striking. For every 7 kilograms of grip strength, mortality risk dropped by 12% over the 8-year follow-up period. Women who completed their chair stands fastest showed 4% lower mortality for each 6-second improvement in their completion time. Here's what makes this research particularly compelling. These benefits persisted even after researchers controlled for physical activity levels and cardiovascular fitness. They also accounted for sedentary behavior, gait speed, and even inflammation markers. Muscle strength's protective effect remained significant across all these adjustments. Perhaps most remarkably, women who failed to meet standard aerobic guidelines, that's 150 minutes of weekly activity, still showed significantly lower mortality when they possessed higher muscle strength. Lead author Michael LaMonte summarized it simply, quote, "When we no longer can get out of the chair and move around, we are in trouble," end quote. This research didn't emerge in isolation. A 47-year longitudinal study from Sweden's Karolinska Institute provides complementary insights. That study tracked physical performance over nearly 5 decades. Researchers found that decline typically begins around age 35, earlier than many people assume. But here's the encouraging news. The Swedish researchers found that starting exercise later in life can increase physical capacity by 5 to 10%. Quote from researcher Maria Westerståhl, "It is never too late to start moving. Our study shows that physical activity can slow the decline in performance, even if it cannot completely stop it." End quote. So we have 2 major studies pointing in the same direction. Muscle strength independently predicts longevity, and building it at any age provides real benefits. But why does grip strength specifically matter? After all, it seems like an oddly specific measurement. You're not gripping things to survive. Grip strength serves as a proxy, a convenient window into your overall muscle health. Strong hands generally indicate strong muscles throughout your body. The chair stand test works similarly. Rising from a seated position without using your arms requires coordinated leg strength, core stability, and balance, all essential for independent living. Consider the practical implications. The ability to rise from a toilet, get out of bed, climb stairs, and recover from a stumble all depend on the muscle strength these tests measure. Falls are a leading cause of injury and death among older adults, and the risk of falling is directly connected to lower body strength and balance. The research suggests that maintaining muscle strength may be as important as cardiovascular fitness, perhaps more important for predicting who thrives in their later years. So what can you actually do with this information? Let's start with assessment. You can test your own grip strength and chair standability at home. For the chair stand, sit in a firm chair without armrests. Cross your arms over your chest. Time how long it takes to stand up and sit down 5 times without using your arms. If it takes you more than 15 seconds, that's an area worth working on. Under 12 seconds is generally considered good for adults over 60. For grip strength, many pharmacies and physical therapy offices have dynamometers available. You can also ask your doctor about measuring it at your next checkup. Now for building strength. I know what you might be thinking: gym memberships, heavy weights, complicated routines. But it doesn't have to be that way. Bodyweight exercises work remarkably well, especially for beginners. Chair stands themselves are a legitimate exercise. Start with 10 repetitions, 3 times a day. Wall push-ups are excellent for upper body strength. Stand arm's length from a wall. Place your palms flat against it and slowly lower your chest toward the wall, then push back. Step-ups using a sturdy bottom stair. Build leg power. Hold the railing for balance. Step up with one foot. Bring the other to meet it, then step back down. You don't need specialized equipment. Filled water bottles, soup cans, or even books can provide adequate resistance for arm exercises when you're starting out. The key is consistency over intensity. Aim for 2 to 3 strength sessions per week, focusing on major muscle groups: legs, arms, back, and core. If you have health conditions or haven't exercised in years, consulting a physical therapist or certified trainer can help you start safely. Proper form prevents injuries. Let me be clear about something important. This content is for informational purposes only. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your health routine. It's worth noting that researchers cannot yet prove causation. We know strength is associated with living longer, but building muscle may not directly extend your life. Grip strength might simply reflect overall health and vitality. People who are already healthier may naturally have stronger muscles. But here's the thing: even if the relationship isn't purely causal, the correlation is strong and consistent across multiple studies and populations. And we do know that strength training provides numerous documented benefits: improved bone density, better balance, enhanced metabolic health, and reduced fall risk. Even if building muscle doesn't directly add years, it almost certainly adds quality to those years. Independence matters. Let's talk about realistic expectations. You're not going to transform your body in 30 days, but consistent strength work over months and years produces meaningful change. Progress looks like completing your chair stands faster, carrying groceries more easily, climbing stairs without getting winded, or playing with grandchildren without fatigue. The Swedish researchers emphasize that physical performance does decline with age. That's inevitable, but the rate of decline is something you can influence. Here's a simple starting routine for someone new to strength training. Monday, 10 chair stands, 10 wall push-ups, 10 calf raises holding a counter. Wednesday, repeat. Friday, repeat. That's it to start. No gym required, no special clothes, just 10 minutes, 3 times a week, using furniture you already own. As you get stronger, add repetitions, then add sets. Eventually you might add light weights or resistance bands, but starting simple ensures you'll actually stick with it. Prioritize legs and core, the ability to rise from chairs, maintain balance, and walk steadily, are the functional markers that matter most for daily independence. If you found this useful, consider subscribing. We explore research like this every week, always focused on what the science actually says rather than wellness trends. The research we covered today represents a shift in how scientists think about healthy aging. For too long, cardio received all the attention. Now we're understanding that muscle strength is equally vital, perhaps more vital, for predicting who maintains independence and vitality into their later decades. The message from this research is clear. Your grip strength and your ability to rise from a chair may tell you more about your longevity prospects than your step count. And unlike some health factors outside your control, muscle strength is something you can actively build at any age without expensive equipment. Start with a chair. Stand up. Sit down. Repeat. It might be the most important exercise you do today. Thanks for listening to Better Health Faster. Take care of your muscles. They're taking care of you.